Hello everyone, Olga with you. Today we have a bit more talkative video, so grab the cup of coffee or tea and sit with me. In Ukraine we have one channel of one journalist guy who is always going and talking with captured soldiers, captured Russian soldiers, I mean. And they're just sitting, talking. He's taking from them permission to record everything, by the way, because he's not talking with everybody and so on. Anyway, so there is new captured guy, newcomer, from the newly mobilized guys from Russia. And that was very interesting interview. I watched it all. I know that there is some people and some channel who is translating those videos, but I'm not sure if it would be translated. So I will just retell you the story of this guy somehow in short way, because the interview is very long and I know that I will not have time really to translate all this. So I will share it with you because it's really interesting and yeah. So the story about this guy. This guy, I guess he's lawyer by education, as he said, and he was working in the production of kids' food, and he was the one who was monitoring, who was sitting behind the monitor and operating all the process on the factory, and he's from some area in Russia. And also he is part-time editor of videos, so some wedding videos or whatever videos, he's taking them, he's doing video editing and all these kind of things, and graphic design, and he likes these things, and this is his main job. And as I understand, he's married and he is something like 27 years old. He was serving in Russian army in, I guess, 2013. 1 year, and he said out of this 1 year they go for some kind of training where they kind of teach him how to drive BMP, and he said that in reality I saw this BMP only 2 times. I never drive it, I never do anything, but yeah, it was written that I passed training and now I have this kind of specialty in army. And then he said after we returned from military training, the rest of his something like 6 or 7 months in army, he was just sitting in some office, he was writing them some papers, so he was always working with documents, and he don't know anything. He is totally not military guy, he don't know how to fight, even he was considered that he served in army. So that's a short story about his background. Then he said on 21st September, Russia announced this mobilization, and he was afraid somehow that maybe they could mobilize him because he was already served in army. He said on 21st September they announced mobilization. On 22nd, HR, so he was in his working, and he got a call from HR, come to HR, to our office. He came to them. And he said there was the woman from HR and there was 2 other men sitting, and she gave him this paper. She said, okay, welcome, you are mobilized, and if you must come today in evening already with all your personal belongings to this place. And if you don't come, this is 5 years of prison, as per this, blah 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 blah. And for sure this guy, you can see that he is very intelligent, but he is not very brave to say go to hell, I don't care about your mobilization, and so on. So for sure he decided to obey. And he said, he decided, okay, after this mobilization doesn't still mean that for sure they will send you to war, because for sure there should be some medical commission where they need to check if you at all can be served in army or not. And he said that he has, I'm not sure, something on his brain which is making all his body swell always. And he said, I was sure that I cannot pass. And yeah, so he was thinking, it's fine, let me go. Once there will be medical commission, they will for sure, they will not take me. Then he came at night, they drive them already, so he came to some place, they load them in the buses, and overnight they drive somewhere and very close to Ukrainian border somehow. And he said, in this moment, I start suspecting that maybe there will be no medical commission, but we still didn't know. And nobody explained them anything, nobody talked about anything, but what he said, they was telling, you will be on Russian territory, we are not sending you anywhere outside. And as he said later, they understand that, yeah, Russia considered all their captured, invaded Ukrainian territory as Russian territory as per their own view. So yeah, you're in our territory. What, you don't agree that this Donetsk and Luhansk region is part of Russia or what? This is actually how they are playing the things. And so actually they drive them to one base, then from this base they drive them to another base. So little by little, they start moving to Ukraine, entering Ukraine. First they was in some kind of deep Russian control area, so there was no fighting and shooting, something like that. Then they start bringing them more close and more close to front line. And this all was happening very fast, because on 22nd, on the day they come and they said that you must be mobilized. And from that day, they captured him actually on 29 already of September. So he took something like a week from the moment when he was in Russia to the moment when he's already captured a soldier in Ukraine. So they start bringing them, and he said there was no really commanders, there was nobody that you can talk to them, there is nobody that you can say, I don't want to fight. And I understand, because our journalist said, oh, so you chose to go to kill Ukrainians instead of go to the Russian prison. And somehow from this point of view, I don't know what I would choose or anybody else, if you know that if you will go to if you refuse, you are 100% going to prison, and Russian prison, this is the worst thing would get happen in your life. And if you agree that, okay, let me go, you don't know where you're going, maybe you will just sit somewhere, maybe you will be considered that you are fighting, but you're not fighting. So these people, I'm sure they're not understanding what is war on the front line and how the things happening, and they just decide, let us see what will happen. But these people for sure is not ready to fight, and they don't know how to fight. So they start bringing these guys, bringing them. They assign him to some BMP car, because he is some kind of the one who has speciality, as per his paper, that he know how to operate it. And he said most of BMP which they bring for them, they was already from repair. So it was something which was damaged, they repair them and they bring to them. And he said most of this BMP was anyway damaged, something wasn't working, they had no connection. Most of this BMP, they didn't have any connection, not inside, not with other cars. So even if inside, you need to sit on the way that you can shout to each other and you can say, so they can hear what you're saying, because it's so much noisy and you cannot hear if you're talking. So you need to sit one by one and talk to each other. And also, as per what he said, you have no connection with other cars also. So at the end, they was driving, sleeping somewhere on the way. They reached to some school, and he said, yes, around this area you can already hear a lot of explosions, a lot of artillery shelling and so on. They reached, they sleep in some school. Then the whole day they spent figuring out which BMP is really able to work, which BMP is not able to work. And his BMP was looking like it is somehow fine, it can work. And at night their commander tell, okay, we need 2 guys follow this tank and go follow him. So he was in the group of these 2 BMP that he need to follow to some tank. He said they bring us to some place, 1 BMP go inside of city, which was already having some heavy fights, but they came at night there is no fights. Not much fights actually. So he said 1 BMP go to city and they stay outside of city. They just said put some kind of branches on top of your car so you can mask it, and that's all. And wait, some guy will come to you. Then he said we wake up from so much shelling, and the shelling was already in the city. They were staying outside of city, but they understand that nobody is coming to us. What should we do? What's going on? They're all guys who is mobilized, sitting in this car. Nobody knows how to do. Nobody have 0 experience of fighting, nothing. And yeah, they decide just to start digging the ground around. so they can hide if there will be any kind of shrapnel going or something, so at least it will not kill them or something. Then they said, they come one Russian guy to them, and he said he was having tank. He said, okay, and while they don't have any connection with each other, there is one guy who is running from car to car, from one tank to this BMP, and he is actually the one who is talking what they need to do. He said, yeah, once I will give you a command, just shoot in this direction from your BMP. And this guy, this Russian guy, he said, we are losing, we are actually going out of here. So anyway, once you will notice that I start my tank and I start driving, you need to follow me also and drive behind me. And the shelling start coming more close and more close. Then this guy said, okay, shoot. They said, we try to shoot, our BMP is not working, it's not shooting, it's stuck and done. So yeah, doesn't work, it will not work anymore. Then they said, we call this guy who is running between the tank and the BMP, call to this guy that we cannot shoot. And he said they noticed that tank already drive. They didn't hear how he start driving or something, so they appear totally alone in the middle of some field, not knowing at all what to do, even with machine which is not working. Imagine, and Ukrainian army is advancing and they are shelling everything. So this is as per his words. I'm not sure how much he's saying the truth or not, but for me he was looking very honest. So yeah, all these 11 guys, the 11 guys in this BMP, they decide they don't know even the way how to go back because they was driving at night. They decide, okay, let us by any means start looking at the way how to get out. And they said we was trying to follow the signs. And this is why Ukrainians, if you remember, I was showing you, they close all the signs and remove all the signs, because really Russians, and many people was writing me, they have very modern navigation system. What you think, they're such stupid? And this guy exactly proved they have nothing. And they said they told them, don't take smartphones, take normal old phones. But he said, I have old phone. He took it with him, but he was driving something like 3 days, it get out of charge, and he said there was no place to charge it even. So what, it get out of charge and done. So these guys, they decide to run from this battlefield. They try to find the way out of this village. Somehow they find a way. Then they reach to some block post. Ukrainian army somehow starts shelling them, and their BMP fall out. They understand, done, it will not drive anymore, and they all just start running everywhere. They start running everywhere. Some guys run to one direction, other guys run to other direction. And this guy that they capture, he just ran with one more guy. Then he said, I start feeling that I don't feel my hands. I was thinking that I'm already shooted or something. Then he takes some time to remove all the things. He finds that, no, I don't have any problem. This was maybe some kind of psychological reaction. But he even lose one more guy with whom he ran. And then he said he start walking. He don't know where he is at all. He don't know where is village. He don't know which side is Ukraine, which side is Russia, even Russian thing. So he don't know anything. And he said he just go to some wood. He tried to sleep. At night he wake up because there was shelling exactly around him all the way. So he wake up. He ran more far to some other spot. Then in the morning he wake up and he said he didn't eat already something like 2 days. He didn't drink 1 day. So he decided, yeah, I need to find water because, yeah, at least water, because you cannot live without water. And he said he was super thirsty. He found one puddle because he is in the middle of field and wood, and there is no villages. He don't know where is villages, actually. He don't know to which side he need to go. And he said he drinks some water from the puddle. And then he start walking. He decided that he just need to reach to any people. He didn't care which people it would be, because he was feeling that he will die because of no food and no water. And at the end he hears some sound, some noise. He decided to go to this direction. He reached to the village. He find the first people on the first house in the village. Not people, they was sitting, he said, around bushes. He talked to them, and they was Ukrainian soldiers. So yeah, he said he submit directly, and he didn't have actually anything even. So even if he want to fight with them, he can fight just by hand maybe. So he said he submit, they capture him, and done. Thank you. His military service already finished, and I guess Russia even can put him in jail because he submit by himself. I guess they said 10 years if you submit. So yeah, that's the story. And I was thinking about it today all the day, and I just want to share with you that I was thinking, Russia, and he said their commanders, all these guys, they have no counting of these people. They don't know their surnames, who came to which tank, where he ran, what happened with him at all. They have totally no understanding and no visibility. And he said that now he understands, even if they told him go behind this tank, and he would just not go, just go hide behind the bush and sit half of the day. They would not even notice you, and they will not know you go, you didn't go, and what was your name, surname, and so on. This is what he said. I'm not sure this is true or not, but I'm thinking, what's the target of Russia sending such totally not equipped people, with such not working equipment, totally new mobilized guys who has zero experience, exactly to the battlefield? For sure they will be killed. This is for sure they will be killed. The question is when they will be killed. And the best luck for these guys is really to be captured by Ukrainian soldiers, so they can at least be alive and they will not get killed. But the question to me is still what they're gaining out of these guys, So what is it? Are they doing genocide of their own people? So they throwing them on this, or they think that Ukraine, whatever stupid you will send, even if he will not fight, even if his car is not shooting, his BMP is not shooting, or his tank is not driving, still this is some kind of distraction, bring so much cars which is not driving, so much this machineries which is not driving, but each of them, Ukrainian forces, they will take time to shoot, they will get distracted, maybe this is just like distraction or something. So yeah, they will start focusing on this more, while they didn't focus it's like there would be nothing at all. Maybe because this is very crazy, So and he said there was 11 guys. He was the one who ran at the end, and he don't know what happened to others. He didn't see that they got killed, but he also didn't see them as captured soldiers. And this area most likely became under Ukrainian control on the same day. So Ukrainians most likely covered all this area already. And those guys, they got killed most likely, or they just also somewhere between captured soldiers. But as I understand, all soldiers together, and he don't see anybody else. So I don't really know. So that's, guys, the story. Please write me your thoughts. Why you think Russia is mobilizing these guys if they are clearly having nothing, So on 22nd he mobilized, on 29th he was already captured, and this was his best luck, I guess, in his life. And what's the target? Is it really just to distract Ukrainians, or is it for which purpose they're doing that? So please write me your thoughts, write me your ideas. I will try to search if I can find this interview translated. If not, I will just give you original one. So maybe you can follow up somehow with that. So anyway, thanks for watching this video. Hope this story was interesting for you, and waiting for your comments. Bye bye.